Traveler's Log 2. We've rested a bit where we landed off last time. Now it's time to find where this signal source is coming from. We're not far from it, we're just under 400 units away, so we're going to continue on foot from here on out and see if we can find anything else that is on this planet. Scanning it to see if we can learn anything more about our location. But everything we seem to find here is all new to us, so I still have not jogged any part of my memory. Looking, it seems to be right down in this area near the smoking object and those other antenna-looking items. We see some different life forms around that we're going to scan and see if we can learn more about. They seem to be harmless at the time being. As we approach closer to the location here, we can finally hone in that signal and see exactly where it's coming from. And it was from the smoking apparatus. Over here we're going to go to this charting sector beacon and we're going to get that marked down on our maps. And then we're going to continue on. Let's see what this signal has to offer us. What is it going to tell us? What are we finding here? There was wiring. There was a destroyed piece of machinery. So we had to decipher a signal that was locked in the code of the machine. And when we decoded the message, it gave us a schematic, to my understanding. This schematic is for a base computer, which I can only presume is to be used for a homesteading object to lay claim to an area. So we decided to take those plans and told us we needed chromatic metal, and it also taught us the terrain manipulator. So we were told that chromatic metal can be made from copper in a refiner. So after we installed the terrain manipulator and got all the materials needed to build said components for it, we end up heading out to a copper deposit not too far away. There's quite a few there's quite a few material deposits around. I marked this one first, but I want to see if there's any closer that are 421 meters away, and there were not, so we ended up starting to take the trip over, scanning any life forms, minerals, and flora or fauna that we see on our way to get more knowledge of our surroundings and what type of planet this is and how it behaves. These were some less than friendly fauna and flora that I ended up making some light work of after around this knowledge stone. I don't think there's any repercussions for doing this, but I guess only time will tell as we continue to terraform planets and things of the sort. I look around to make sure that there's nothing else that's trying to attack me before grabbing these wisdom stones, relearning the languages of the area. I'm being taught something called a Korvax language. I don't know exactly what that means to me. It sounds vaguely familiar though. As we continue on our adventure, there's another one nearby. So we learned a few words real close by together. We have some more enemy or hostile creatures, I should say, in the area. And I was trying to avoid it, but it continued to charge at me, so finally we have found the copper mine, or copper deposit. So we switched on our manipulator mode, or terrain manipulator, and we are now terraforming and mining up the copper so that we can make the chromatic metal needed for the base computer. So we're going to take up as much of this copper as we can get in this area. I don't want to leave any materials behind, just so that we can maximize our efforts here, as this is a material that seems like it's going to be very needed here in the future. So the more of it we can get now, the better. On our adventures here, I did create a refiner and placed it down to start making said chromatic metal. So we had to get some fuel into it. We used our condensed carbon we had, I believe, and then we put our 165 copper in, and we're just going to let that process here, and we're going to pick up some more minerals and materials around the area as that's going, so we can prep to get ahead to our next spot. I think the next thing we're going to do is maybe we will set up a base camp somewhere around here, just to have a spot to get our bearings down and start from. We'll go from there. This will just be more of a spot to get a better understanding and lay of the land of where we're at and the galaxy we're in and things. But our chromatic metal is done. So there's that. I only used 30% of the fuel or so that we had in there. I don't even know if it was actually full, to be honest, when we put the fuel in there. This is when I noticed how far away I am from my spaceship. I've traveled some distance, almost a whole 1,000 units away. So I kind of take a look around. There's a copper deposit out on that island, which would be kind of neat to go to, maybe even to build on. That would be kind of interesting. There's some materials on the way, some pyrite, some sodium deposits, quite a few knowledge stones around, which will just only help our understanding of the area and the solar system. One would presume that if we're finding Korvax knowledge as we're exploring that the area, wow, it seems like we have a pretty bustling area though. The starships, and then there's those freighters up above in orbit. But yes, as we're coming up here with the Korvax knowledge, one would think that the Korvax would be the main species in this solar system. It could be the only species around, I'm not sure. But there seems to be life in the water of this planet as well, so we've scanned some plant life forms in the water. I'm unsure if these ships are patrolling above us or there's something I need to worry about, so that's why I was panicked looking around. I've come up to this mountaintop because I believe our ship's right down there, but this also gives us a nice little lookout for some areas. There's something called cactus flush over there. We have an unknown building and a cargo bay. Knowledge stones, there's some water. I haven't decided where it would be best to build our kind of makeshift base at, but we will be figuring that out soon. Because I think getting a base together here is some of our best plan for surviving. But we're going to take our ship around now that we're back, and we're going to find somewhere to land at. I also have found some information on a drop pod that is on this planet, so I think maybe we will go check that out first. But the easiest way to get across the planet is to go into orbit and fly around. So let's head into the orbit, into orbit of this planet. And then as we come closer, we're gonna see what is at this drop pod. I'm not sure what we're gonna find here. I don't know what is even expected to be at this. So let's see. We're gonna land a little ways away. They can obviously hear us and see us if there's anything there that could hurt us. But let's go and see. This is still the same planet we were on earlier, but just about a quarter of the way around the planet, I would have to say. Let's see. Still making sure that we have seen everything. Let's go into the drop pod. There's nothing around. Exosuit upgrade. Okay, I had the nanotubes. I need to get an antimatter housing and one other item. Oh, some sodium or some carbon nanotubes, or a carbon nanotube. Let's see. Do I have the things to make that? Don't have any sodium. I need to go get some sodium to make into sodium nitrate, I believe. Or no. I can make the carbon nanotubes, but I can't make the other items, so I need to figure out how to do that. I don't have what was that? There's a copper deposit. Oh, was that there's a freighter that just warped into orbit? Antimatter housing, carbon nanotubes. Alright, we're gonna harvest up some more copper after we charge up all of our life supports and our mining beam. Let's take all this up. This seems to be a smaller patch of copper, but this will be good for us to break down into chromatic metal here in the future. Let's go. Or maybe go back. Not sure if there's anything else around here that we want to keep an eye out for, other than maybe this damaged machinery. What is this going to give us? Some viscous fluids. I can't talk. I'm a little flustered after our work today. I can't make the antimatter housing. I don't know what. Make the carbon nanotubes. Let's replace that. So now I just need the antimatter housing. But I don't seem to know how to make that. So let's look around, see if there's anything else around here. Maybe we'll hold off on that for now. Now we didn't see much around. But our launch fuels are out of fuel, or our launch thrusters are out of fuel. So we had to refuel those, and now let's find maybe on top of this little hillside here. I think maybe this is where we'll build our base at. Seems like a kind of a good spot up over up over the water, kind of on this hill. Let's see what's in this damaged machinery. More viscous fluids. I still can't talk. I think buried technology. What is that? Let's mine down into here. It's like in the ground. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Where did that give us? Some salvage data. Okay, that seems good, maybe. But I do think this is where we are going to build our base. So let's put down the base computer and enjoy the build montage. Alright, and there you are. That was the quick little build that we're gonna put up for our place here. We did that through the storm, so that was entertaining to do. We need to get some power going eventually. Now we're gonna keep on adding to this. The terrain manipulator I will get used to make a little better looking terrain around here. And all those things. But first we're gonna just try and do a little cleanup in our inventory. We're gonna use some fuel. We're gonna make some pure ferrite, so then we can make some magnetized ferrite and construct the research unit. Hopefully is gonna be our goal. Oh yeah, I gotta put the pure ferrite in here to get magnetized, that's right. Alright, now we're gonna get this all made up. There we go. And I need to get some carbon to craft nanotubes, alright. Of course, there's nothing around here that has carbon, so let's go find some stuff. Found these little cacti looking things. We're gonna take them out and just take out some of this other stuff around here, get some more materials while we're out. And what is this? Can't mine it. Can't do anything to it. Crystal sulfide. Ooh, interesting. I don't know what that is. That doesn't seem good though. Oh. Oh boy. Oh, so that like has like some sort of discharge. So you must be careful by those. Whoa, that doesn't look good. Those look dangerous. There were some dangerous looking swimming things. Oh, we got back to our base. We made the nanotubes that we needed. Then we can create the construction research unit. So we crafted that up and dropped it right in our base. And now we use this to figure out, to learn more technologies. Ooh, teleporter, base teleporter. It'll teach us more building technologies and some cosmetic things and stuff for base building. So this would be what we use our salvage data for going forward, to my knowledge. But I think the base teleporter is what we're gonna need the most. Have most of the things needed, but we don't have any power, so we're gonna have to be working on power for our base. We're not gonna go out there because it is rough out there for weather. I need more ferrite to craft the metal plating I need. So I've got some. I didn't notice this animal here. We took care of him, no problem. Looking for things with ferrite. I'm struggling. There doesn't seem to be anything around base, so I just have to really find these little minerals around. And it's working, we're getting there. But it did take us a little longer than I wanted it to. So now we gotta craft the 2 nanotubes. We got that. We have enough to craft a teleporter, so we're gonna put that right in the corner here. Now we'll be ready once we get some power going to to our base. We can power that and our little lamp we have in here. Could be some good things in the future coming for us. This might be an alright base. We'll just have to see. What else can we do around here? Don't have any more salvage data. That's how the biofuel reactor is under the teleporter. So after we get some more, that'll be maybe when we can get things going. Now I think it's time to go and try and explore and learn a little more about our area and our location. So I think we're gonna head to space. With that in mind, we can explore around here for a bit. And we do quite a bit of mining, so let's do some asteroid mining. Alright, so there's enough asteroid mining. Let's go check out this planet over here. It's a boggy planet. It's got a lot of copper on it, so it's one of the top minerals on it, it says. So we'll take our time getting some materials here and see what we find. I need to do some exploring to learn about our location. I know I've repeatedly talked about that, but we just need to find out where we are and what we need to do to get back to our team. But we did the usual that we normally do when we're on planets. We scan everything that we can find that is scannable, whether it be flora, fauna, minerals, all the above. So we learned a little bit about some of the things in this area. Did some scanning around. We didn't seem to have too many threats in the area. Did have some words of knowledge that could teach us though. So we found that and went and checked those out. Lots of very interesting looking flora and fauna here, but all of it seemed to be passive, at least. Nothing was aggressive towards me, at least in the get-go. We just found remnants of what other possible travelers have left around, or at once were expecting to come back to and never made it back. Not exactly sure. But we found some minerals that give some sodium, so that's a good source of that. This planet also had some flying animals, or fauna, similar to the last world we were on. Not similar, but in the same regards to the last world we were on. So it's quite a mountainous area. And by this time, we had already traveled a decent amount of space. Our suit alerted us to 8,000 units traveled, so that was something new to me. I didn't know that the suits did that. But That is what we were told. Now we're gonna head back into space here, into the solar system, and I think there's a marker for the space station that we are going to head to. Ship or exosuit must have found out about it somehow, so we're gonna go land on that and see what that's all about. See if we have any hostile enemies here, or we need to worry about anything like that. I haven't been engaged in space combat of any sorts or anything like that, but you never know what could be lurking ahead. Heading to space stations or different parts of the galaxy or the solar system. So we have made it aboard. Doesn't seem to be anyone around here. Let's go up the side and see what we have. There's life forms. There were a few robot type entities that I was able to speak with and learn some things, ask about some other people if other people had been around like myself, and just things like that. I got to learn a little of their language as well from certain ones, and asked a little bit about the code I was given from the broken machinery. The number 16 seemed very prevalent in the machinery, and figured they may know, but the one I asked about it did not seem interested or impressed with what I was talking about. I continued to explore around the space station, and there wasn't much in these back rooms. I was expecting maybe some back office meetings or some higher up employees to be back here, but not much. Just a beautiful view of the galaxy and the few planets that are around with their moons and things of the sort. So, continue my venture. I go to this eye looking thing on the wall, and it seems to be some sort of trade terminal where you can buy and sell items on demand. So I look into some of the materials I have, and I clear out some of the things that I don't think I need, that aren't really helpful, or some of the things that are worth some money that I'm just kind of carrying around. So we get rid of a few things that aren't super necessary and get a few credits for our troubles, which credits seem to rule the world in all senses and rule every part of a person's life. So credits are always a good thing in this. But as we finish up selling what we need to there, we head over to talk to someone with the title of mission agent, and we also repeat the number 16 to him. He gives us some sort of code. It's kind of confusing, and I don't really understand what to do with it. But there's some... I feel compelled. I thought to myself that maybe it had something to do with the base computer, so I'll remember that and bring it back to the base computer at some point to see if that will teach me anything. That robot had nothing more to say to me, but the one next to him looked at me, and I recognized a badge. It said that they were from the Merchant Guild, but they also did not want to speak with me. There was one more person on the end, one more robot, I should say, and they offered some charts to different things on planets and upgrade charts and various things for trade. Essentially, you trade one chart for another chart, or I didn't quite understand the concept, but I just moved on my way, and there were some items on a counter that I was able to take my suit told me about another milestone that I had completed, which was earning credits. So I'm glad the suit keeps track of things, but there's another ramp on the other side of the space station that we went up. Looks like there's a spot to upgrade and change our ship. Costs a lot of money to do. Oh my goodness. So that won't be happening anytime soon. We can change our character apparently. There is an exosuit upgrade here that we... Oh, it just allowed us to add a inventory slot to our exosuit. So we got that and spoke with the robot that was running the station there. They were offering exosuit upgrades, and there was the exocraft upgrade merchant, the starship merchant, and then finally, last but not least, the multi-tool merchant. They all offer different things for their respected classifications. There's a nice multi-tool that we could have bought if we were to have the coin for it, but we did not. So we just spoke with each trader, looked at their inventory, and went on our merry way. Continued exploring the space station. We went back into this final back room here in the space station, or at least what I thought was the final back room. And this place was a little busier. There was some people back here chatting, doing their own thing. And there was a different race here. There's a little frog type reptile looking thing there as well, which was my first encounter with a different race of higher entities than fauna on planets. So it spoke with me. It told me that it would be a construction overseer at a base of mine, but he needed a construction station built there. So I don't know what that is. But once I find that, I will have to maybe find this life form and come back and hire him. I spoke to the next life form. He was asking for things. I was not sure what he wanted, and I seem to have given him the wrong item because he started to ignore me shortly after I gave him an item. So we tried to reboot him and get some dialogue help from him, see if he can teach us a word. And he did. He did end up teaching us a word for travel. There was another robot in the same area that we also wanted to learn some words from. We asked him the word for a friendship, and we find out that the robots are the Korvax. And there was a third race here as well, a larger kind of orc-esque looking race that seems to be very dangerous if possible. And he was a exocraft technician is what he told me. So I could not hire him unless I had an exocraft station. At the end here, we have learned more words. Our suit told us again. We have learned, or gave us a milestone of learning 5 words. And with that being said, I think this is a good spot to hold off for the night. When I was speaking to the people in the back, they said that they have some spare beds here on the station for travelers to stay after a long flight or a long warp. They're more than welcome to stay up here for the night, get their rest and recover, and pick up all their materials. So we were going to do that. We will catch up with you guys in the next episode. Hitting that like and subscribe button, maybe checking out one of these videos on screen. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.